Hey guys, the Bumblebee is really coming together. In this video, we'll build up the rear suspension, including pulling the hubs into the trailing arms, getting the shocks and springs ready, and installing the calipers. Let's get started. All right, remember in the previous video, we put the bearing in. Now we're going to take the retainer and we'll put that on there like that. And then take the hub, put it in here and have it assembled. Got this set for 18 foot-pounds. And let's just for a second take a look at this. It is a thing of beauty. So clean, powder coated, bright, ready for the hub to go in. Okay, now what we're going to do is take the hub. I've cleaned this and we're going to just gently put it into the bearing here. I want to get it very square. And then I'm just going to gently get this started. Okay, now I want to test and make sure that it's spinning evenly. And it looks like it's kind of wobbly a little bit, so I'll just adjust it. I want to make sure that it's in square before I pull it through with the hub. Okay, that's pretty good. Now, in order to pull this in, literally it's going to be pulled in. Got this from a Harbor Freight bearing set. It's a 72 millimeter. And then I've got a piece of threaded rod here, double nutted nut, and a washer down there. And what I'm going to do is, this will create a platform. This is just about the right size of the bearing, so it's not going to push on the inner race or anything. Now I'll take the tool that I made and stick it up through the trailing arm, making sure that that flat piece of metal is up against the bearing. And I'll put a nut at the end of the threaded rod here with a washer to get everything tight. Try to get it as centered as it possibly can so that the weight is distributed evenly. I'll grab my impact with a very long 19 millimeter socket to pull this hub into the control arm. And now I'll just back it off to take it out. Now here are my beautifully freshly powder coated consoles. The pivot gets a star washer here because there are no splines like there are in the OEM pivot. Then I'll put the console on and a washer, and then a nut will get that on tight. Now you'll see that I have this in a vise at kind of a weird angle, and that's because I'm going to need to put a fair amount of torque on the nut there to get everything into spec. This is 108 foot-pounds. Wow, look at that, a harvest moon. I think I'll harvest some parts from the old shocks. I gotta harvest this top and this piece here for the new shock setup. Alright, I got that. There's the cap. And this crusty old washer here. Here are my new springs from 914 Rubber. And this is the old spring that it's replacing. You see the old spring's a little bit longer and a little bit thinner than the new springs, but that's to be expected because these springs are a little bit stiffer. Alright, so here's what we're going to need for the rear suspension. Obviously, a new shock. These are Bilsteins. New springs. Also from 914 Rubber, we have the rear shock mounting bushing. And then also the upper mounting bushing. And then there's also pieces that we harvested from the car before. This is what goes on top of the mounting bushing. And we also have the nut and the lock and the other washer and the pieces that we need here, which attach to the trailing arm. This goes on top of the shock. So So in here we have the perch, and this is what the spring is going to rest on, and plus 2 washers, and those 2 washers go on either side of this when we do the install against the trailing arm. It also obviously comes with a nut. Sometimes you feel like one. Alright, so this is the circlip that the perch rests on. And there's a lot of opinions about which of these ridges the circlip should be in. I'm going to go with the conventional wisdom and put it on the 4th from the bottom. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's going to go right there, and I'll show you how to do that. The different setups and stances may require putting the perch on a different notch, but the 4th from the bottom seems to be a good starting point. Alright, so I'm just going to use kind of a ring expander here. Just kind of an easy tool to get this done. And it takes a little bit of, maybe 1 or 2 sessions of this to get it to the right place. Just gotta skip it one more. Alright, so there it is, the 4th one from the bottom. Now what'll happen is this perch is kind of tight fit on this, but that's okay. And it rests on that circlip. Then the spring will go here and sit on that. Now I'll take this washer, slip it on here. Then the hat will go on top of that. Now it's important that the end of the spring rests against that there. And then on the hat here, there's a spot where you can see the end of the spring lines up. So once that's together, we can start to spin this on. And then I'll just tighten this down until it doesn't go anymore. Then the spring will be under tension, and we'll be ready to put this on the car. So I'll just tighten this down. So now I use the rear shock mounting bushing, which goes on top of this. You can see there's articulation in here that fits in here. That goes just like that. And this is going to come up through the car. I'm going to get this up in. Get that up. And the rubber piece. And then this metal piece. And we'll just hold it for now. So I'll take one of these big washers. Put it through here a little bit. Just get it started. Other washer. It's going to go right here. So here I've got the trailing arm, and this bracket will go inside. The bolts will go on this side of the bracket. Using a jack to rest. Now I'm taking the other side of the pivot and putting that into the ear on the car. And once that's in, I can kind of rock it up and then get it into an orientation where I can put the bolt through the shock and into the trailing arm. And next I'll put a bolt through the console into the car to hold the front part up. You can see it right there. And there's the pivot through the ear and the bolt that's going through the trailing arm. Now I just have to put other bolts through here into the console to get everything secure. You can see that I need to get these holes lined up a little bit better. Now I've pushed the bolt through the shock here, and I'm just going to put a nut at the end so that it doesn't fall out. Later on I'll come back and torque it to the right spec. Now I got to get this one torqued to 108 foot-pounds. So I got my Mac Daddy torque wrench here, and I've already got it. There we go. Nice. I'm going to tighten these up for now, although I may need to put shims in here when I do the rear wheel alignment. Now I'll tighten the top nut on the shocks when the car's on the ground and the suspension is fully loaded, just like I'll be after this thing starts the first time. Now's the time I would normally put in the axles, but I'm still waiting for some parts and my schedule is really tight, so I'm going to do some other things first. Alright, I'll put my freshly powder coated dust shield back on, and the tray side, the lip side, faces out. I'll put it on the wrong way. Ratcheting spanner is helpful for this one. Now the strap and the biggest part of the curve goes towards the front of the car. It's nice to see the gold and the black together. You see we're going to have to get these holes lined up so that the caliper bolts will go through. Alright, dust shield's on. Okay, now here's my brand new rotor. And because it's brand new, I'm definitely going to hit it with some brake clean, both sides. I want to make sure that any of the manufacturing stuff is off. Now these two holes here are where these small screws go that just retain the rotor. Take a little anti-seize and just put it on the tip of the screw so that it won't get rusted in there or seized in there. Alright, here is my freshly rebuilt caliper from PMB. I don't have the pads in there yet because it'll be easier to install this way. And I'm going to put it into position with new caliper bolts. Unfortunately, you can't really see the caliper bolt going in. You have to take my word for it. Alright, I'll get these torqued up later. But, caliper's on. This is a little wobbly in here because the stub axle is not through and it's not tightened down. But when it gets tight, it'll be right. The parts are finally in and it's now time to install the axles. And I put some anti-seize on that, just so I don't have to fight like I did the last time. Yeah, this is just a matter of getting the splines in, and then in enough to put this washer on, and the castellated nut. I also put some anti-seize. And I'll start tightening that, and it'll pull the axle. I'll first just get it going with just a regular old ratchet. Pulling it in. I'm going to put some just 2 lug bolts in here. Alright, got my bar here. My beefy torque wrench set to 225. I'm going to just lean on it with my weight. There we go. Woo! 225. Now just the cotter pin. Now I'll put the brake pads in and make sure that there's no rubbing. Before I do that, I'm going to make sure the venting adjustments are wide open to give me space. I'm not going to set the venting clearance for real now. I'll wait until the system is fully installed and bled for that. Alright, now I'll put the brake pads in. If they fit here. Hopefully I won't have to make some more space for right now, but let's see. Nope, for right now they fit. There we go. Now we just have to put the thing underneath it. All right. It's the spring thing. Now we'll take the other pin. Push that through. Same kind of deal. We want to make sure that this hole is facing up. There we go. That's in. Okay, now these two pieces are in. And then this pin needs to go in. And that's why this little hole is so important. That's one. Two. All right. The last thing I'll do with the rear suspension is install the rear sway bar, but that's sways off. If you like these videos, please give them a thumbs up and subscribe. That way you know the next episode drops, and that way I know that you like these videos and it encourages me to make more. Thanks to 914 Rubber for providing so many great parts for this build, and to PMB Performance for the stellar work they do to give these calipers and brake systems new life. Links to everything can be found in the description below. Remember, I'm just an amateur wrencher. I always try to have a pro double check my work, especially when it comes to brakes and suspension. And you should too. Restoring a car is really fun, and it can be pretty simple, but make sure that you're safe and enjoy.